Trevor. Hope you're having a great day. Today I'm going to do a field parlay play. So let's get started. Start with 35 in the field. I've got a $700 bankroll. We're just going to cover the 6 and the 8 to start with. A little bit of a different play. Everything's working now. You don't have to work. You could wait for a come out roll. It's up to you. But we are playing the field. We'd like to get those come out horns and crap numbers. So let's get started, see what we got. Okay, we've got 6. So we lose in the field, but this pays 35, replaces our field. And we've got a 10. All right, so 10 on the end. We win 35. So what we do is we parlay that there. What I'm also going to do, I'm going to put a $70 lay on the 10 and a $70 lay on the 4. Now that does take out 2 combinations in the field, but it covers our inside action plus $10 of our original action. So we're not really at a lot of pain here. The only thing that can really hurt us is a 5, but we've got 6 combinations of the horn numbers plus the 9, so that's a total of 10 combinations to win. We've got 6 combinations of the 7. We only really lose a little bit of our, because this is fully covered, we only lose about 25 bucks. So it's not a bad position to be in, given the options. There's a yo. So we get a parlay in our field, wins 70 bucks. I got that right, one more red. So that's a beautiful thing. And we can pick up the 5 if we want. Or we can just go, you know what, I'm just going to rack this, put it all in my rack, keep it at this level, take it back down, do whatever you please. I do like to keep it up a bit high, maybe put it at a $50 level. Now I'll explain this bit here. If I go to a $50 level, which I think is actually a pretty good level, yes, I've got some additional exposure against the 10 and the 4, because if the 10 and the 4 had rolled then, my field would have paid it out. So there was no risk for my 10 and 4. But I'm just basically forfeiting my profit, basically, is the way you can think of that. However, now when I reduce it down to 50, I've now, because I've got 70 up here, I've actually got a $20 exposure. Now that's not too bad. It's 20 bucks. There's what I'm going to, and I'll go through how this works. I'm going to win 50 bucks here on the 9. That's 4 combinations to win 50. I'm going to win on the 3 and the 11. So that's another 4 combinations. That gives me 8 combinations to win 50 bucks. I've got 2 combinations to win 100. And where am I going to get hurt? Well, I'm going to lose a bit up here if I against the 6 and an 8. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put 30 bucks on my 6 and 8. Now let's have a look at what that means. And you can kind of tune this a little bit to how you feel. Now, what I can do instead, I can take 10 bucks off my lay here. I can take 10 bucks off this one and just bring them down to $60 lays. The $60 lays are, these 2 lays, if a 7 comes, is going to pay out my base bet here. All right. Now, I literally just won 70 bucks on the field. I've put 60 of it here. So I've actually pocketed 10 bucks up my sleeve. So that's not a bad situation to be in, right? How can I lose? Well, I can lose on the 5, but remember I've actually only got a little bit of actually out of my bankroll, because this was 1. I've actually only got about 20 bucks out of my bankroll exposed to the 5. And I'm going to win all these combinations on the 2, 3, 12 and 11. I'm going to win on the 9. I'm going to win 20 bucks on the 6 and the 8. I'm going to lose some money on the 5, but because I've already pocketed some money, it's not a substantial loss. So I can put money on the 5, but I'm going to choose to not do that and just play and let the 5 be my nemesis number. Let my 7, yes, it'll take a little bit out. It'll take a little bit of my win. So I'm going to lose 20 bucks the way it works. I'm going to lose 20 bucks to the 7 and the 5, which is only 10 combinations. I've got 10 combinations to win 50 or 100. I've got 2 combinations to win 100, and I've got 8 combinations to win 50. So it's a pretty good situation. I don't lose too much, but I can win a lot more than I lose. And I've got the same kind of odds of winning and losing. I had a 50-50 situation. So it's a pretty powerful position to be in. And all it required was to get 2 fields. That's all it required. 2 fields back to back to get us into this advantage situation where we have basically a 50-50 chance of winning and losing. But when we win a hell of a lot more than what we lose. And that's the situation you want to be in. So straight there, $50. 4. Okay, so here we see the situation where we lose our lay bet. So yes, we lost $60. We picked up 50 here. I'll add the 10, put it back up. So the 4 and 10s where we lose, we've got basically 6 combinations to lose $10. But given I've got so many other combinations that I'm going to win a hell of a lot more, I'm okay to have a $10 tax every time a 4 and a 10 hits. Got an 8. Well, guess what? I win $20. Yes, I'll lose the field, but this pays me 20 bucks, basically extra. What do I want to do with that? Well, 10 of it was kind of paid there. Maybe I'll put the rest of it there in the field and close the gap on the 5 now. I can do that too. I got the 8. All right. Another situation where I win a net of 20 bucks. I can put it all in my rack. I can parlay some. I can put some in. I can put it there. Put it in the any craps, hoping to get a $70 payout. Or I can put half of it there and close the gap even further here. Or I could decide, look, I'll just close the gap even more and put it all here. There's so many things you can do here. So let's say I close the gap there on the 5, 15. There's the 10. So we didn't win our any craps, but we do win here. We lose this one, $60. All right, take some of that winning out of our rack, put $10 there, put the lay back up. We've got an 8, another $20. All right, maybe this time I'll see if I can get a back-to-back on the field. Maybe I can. Oh, got aces. All right. So what do we got here? We've got $70, and I'm going to get paid $140. All right, happy with that. And this is the situation it puts you in. Just from 2 fields back to back, puts you in a very strong situation to keep winning, as long as the hand goes. So very happy with that, $140 win. As you can see, I've got $70 on there. It's double in the bubble. So now what do we want to do? We've racked the black. Maybe I'll just leave this roll, let this roll at the $70 level. Maybe I'll take it down to 60, put a bit more up on our 5. What's he at? Maybe I'll bring him up to 30. No, bring up 25, let's do that. Just make him 25. Just a bit of insurance there. Remember, this is from a parlay. This has been wins. I only started with 35 in the field, right? There's our 5, it hit. All right. So that's the situation. We get paid 35 here. We lose this one. And that's okay. All right, so now we've got, what do we got? We've got 35 here. Maybe I'll just take it back up to the 50, add in that extra $15. And there's our 7. All right, so now what happens? Well, we lose these. This is all from winnings. This is all from winnings. All right, and it's what I call money in action. People go, oh, it's house money, this money. Look, I just say it's money in action. Right, this we lost. Now, some of this came out of our bankroll. The original bit came out of our bankroll, plus a little bit that we topped up. So it's about $30, $40 in there, somewhere around that. But these 2 lay bets are going to basically replace these 2 bets that just lost. And yes, I owe some big. Get back $3 back in my rack. So let's see where we're at. And did we end up ahead? I think we did. I think we ended up in a nice situation. It's pretty clear to me that we've picked up all of that. All right, so picked up $160 for very little risk out of our hand. Very little risk. After we got those back-to-back field wins, we had very little risk. We had literally $20 of risk, yet we're able to generate far more profit than the risk we actually had out there on the board. So it's kind of a nice thing when it works, and it's not always going to work. All right, there is no holy grail in this game. I want to stress that. Things I'm showing here, there's no guarantees. Everything's going to really depend on what happens. But I'm just looking for little situations where you can get yourself in a situation where you've got a favourable position versus the downside is a lot less than the upside. And we've got a 4, came hard on the come out. So we are going to win 35. So we do the parlay there. And this is the situation where you can get alternating field, non-field, field, non-field, 7. And they're the situations where this is going to not do well, right? In those sorts of situations, you might decide, well, look, maybe I shouldn't be playing this. Maybe I should be playing something else. Or maybe I'll rack that one and put it up here. Do something like that as well. You can do all those sorts of things in addition. Another important point here is we could get a 7 out. So what I might do here, because I've got 70 on the felt, why don't I put 70 up right now? Yes, I take out the combination of the 4 and the 10. By doing that, I've taken out the combinations of 4 and 10. So that's 6 combinations I've taken away, but guess what? My only risk, because I've got $70, those $70 there, $70, I'm going to get paid $70. I've got $60 here. So I've got $10 of my initial action. So I've really only got 25 of bankroll exposed. That's all I have exposed. At this point now, 25 of my bankroll is exposed if a 7 comes. I should mark the point. Aces, perfect. I mean, this happens. I'm random rolling this, but this is kind of what happens. There we go. So I've got to pay it double. So just let me pay it out double. So for $25 worth of exposure to the 7, yes, I had basically $35 exposed to the 5. So my actual maximum exposure was 35 to the 5. 4 combinations on the 5 of $35, and obviously 6 combinations of the 7 with only an exposure, because of the lay bets, basically covering $10 of my action there. It's a really good situation to be in. Yet, how many combinations do I have to win? I had 6 on the field here, on the horn numbers, the 2, 3, 11 and 12. I had another 4 on the 9 that were profit numbers for me. And these were wash numbers, basically, $1 maybe vig if you're paying vig up front. So it's a pretty nice situation to be in, and we've done very, very well from that. And because of that, so I'll take $30 there, take $30 there, I'll take all this, put it in the rack, and maybe I'll take this down to 50. I've got another, 20 here. Maybe I'll put 20 on the 5 just to cover it a little bit there. Going to out of winnings. So what's my total exposure out of my bankroll? Still only $25. against the 7, you know, because this is going to cover my initial $60 out of my bankroll on the 6 and 8. These two are basically for my win. Right, this is for my win. So I've still only got $25 exposed. And on the 5, I've now, because I've got 20 bucks here, I'm taking 28 out of that. So again, I've basically got $27 exposed to the 5. So very little exposure, but still a lot of ways to win a substantial amount of money. 9. There we go, about time we saw a 9. And what do we do there? We've got 50 bucks. We've got a 6. What happens there? Well, I've got 60 on the 6. I'm going to get paid 70. I'm going to lose my field. So I'm going to net $20. Okay, maybe I want to close the gap a bit more on the 5. But still rack some. And maybe I'll put 5 in the C. Who knows? Maybe we will get a whore number. Got a 4. All right. So this is one where I lost. So I'm going to lose here. I'm going to win there. And yeah, I've got to put that one back up out of my pocket. 15 bucks, effectively. So 20 bucks. Plus I lost my C bet, because that's a speculative bet, right? It's not a high likelihood of happening, but when they do happen, they're beautiful. Again, I should be saying everything's working. Well, I've got my lamina on, so we know everything's working. These are lay bets, of course. Now let's keep trucking. We got a yo. What does that mean? Well, it means we get another 50 bucks. And how did we get to this situation? All because we got a field number. Once we get one field hit, we lay the 4 and the 10. We're now covering most of our 4 and 10 lay bet with the parlay of the field number on that one field hit. If we don't get it, yes, okay, we'll lose a bit, but guess what? We've defended ourselves against the worst number, which is the 7. And that's why this is allowing us to get into a very favourable situation on most rolls. 50. Again, we're winning. Once you start winning, you can be bold, pick up the hard ways, do some stuff like that. Play your horn bets, play whatever you want to play. Once you're winning like this, start doing those bets that give you a real gain when they hit. So I'll leave that up to you, what you decide you want to do when those sorts of things are happening. We've had a back-to-back. I could put a bit more on here, do it again, see maybe we'll get another one. We've got a 10, all right. So this is a situation where, yes, we normally lose. So I've lost all of this $70 here, but we've got 75. So we're actually going to pick up an extra 5. So what I'll do, I'll put $5 in my, so $5 in my rack, and we'll just put this lay back up. Picked up that little bit extra. All right, let's try it again. Maybe we'll get another back-to-back win, or maybe we'll get a 6 or 8 or a 5 or something. We've got an 8. All right, so that didn't pay off that time. We get 20 of it back. What do we want to do? Pick up 5 here. And what will I do now? Maybe I'll put it in the field. I'll put 10 there, so I'll bring it up to 60, and I'll rack 5. There's a 3. All right. So now what do we got? Another 60 bucks coming our way. That's what I mean. We're in a powerful situation. We can't lose much to the 7. Yet we can win an awful lot on the field. We're not losing anything to the 6 and the 8. We lose a tiny bit to the 5. But remember, our field bet started at a $35 bet. And guess what? We're going to win 35 on the 5 anyway. So from a bankroll point of view, what have we got at risk? Nothing. Nothing. And we're still racking chips. Let's try it again. Maybe we can get a parlay 75. If we get a double or something, or we get another horn, we're going to at least pick up 75. Got the 9. Perfect. So another 75. Into the rack. And there's our ugly 7. Okay. All right, so this all came out of our bankroll, out of our winnings, sorry. So this all came out of our winnings. Put that back. Out of this, 25 was out of our winnings, but that's okay. We've got $70 up here. It's going to pay basically a net of 70 because they both win 35 each. And of course we're going to owe $3 vig, because sometimes you can play them at different levels. You play them at 60, you can play them at 70, whatever. But you can see how we had very little exposure to the 7. We got most of all of our bankroll back, except for maybe 25 bucks, but given the hundreds and hundreds of dollars of wins we've had, who really cares? So, just wanted to share this one with you. Let's see where we're at. Let's see where we got to. I think we're in a pretty strong situation. Well, there's 100 bucks there. Nothing fits in there. All right, so there's 100 bucks. I'll take that back for a black. Nothing fits in there. So that's our original 500, 600. 700, 800. So that's what we started with. And this is some profit. One, two, three. Oh, and I want you to think about how much risk were we actually taking and for how long. We have literally a little bit of risk to get our first field number. Once we've hit one field, we're laying the 4 and a 10. Very little risk. And that's what we picked up. Pretty nice, $550. A bankroll was $700. And that's how you can use the field to your advantage. So, when the fields are hitting, it's a fantastic play. But even if the fields are not hitting and only occasionally hitting, it's still fine. You're still getting yourself 20 bucks every time. Because if the field's not hitting, that means they're not hitting your 4 and 10 either, right? If they are hitting, right, then sure, you might hit some of your 4s and 10s and you'll lose 20 bucks or $10 if you, depends if you put it at $60 or $70. You can put it at 50 bucks and, you know, risk a little bit more here on the 6 and 8. Instead of playing it at 70, played at 50. So you're going to only cover $50 of your action on the 6 and 8 rather than $60 of your action. So, you know, there's so many little ways you can tune it based on what you're seeing, and I think it's a reasonably solid play because all we're doing is getting one field, then parlaying, and we're using that roll where we have the parlay to now boost our 4 and 10 up to basically cover the action on the 6 and 8. So the only thing that's really at risk is our original 35 bucks, or in the case of it being at $70 lays, $25 of exposure to the 7. Yet a chance to win, we've got 70 bucks on the felt. If we get a double, we win 140. If we get any other field number that's not the 4 or the 10, we're going to win, if it's say the 9 or the 3 or the 11, we're going to pick up 70 bucks. And you just keep doing what I've shown you. There's really not much to it other than what I've shown you. If you want to do a parlay again, then by all means parlay it again. And instead of playing at the level we're playing it, play it double the level. That does require you to have a longer hand to do that. So you are hoping to have a longer hand if you do the second parlay rather than just racking. But I think, you know, trying to risk for one parlay is not a bad thing to do, and can certainly be very profitable as I've shown. So hope you enjoyed that video, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.